Oh my God, y'all. How about that intro video?
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. I'm going to take a second to go over chat real quick. Um, we have, of course, Italian Slice joining us in chat. She doesn't prefer the voice because it gets all crazy in here. So she's with us in chat. There is Devastroyer. It's so hard to not say Devastoya.
No, you gotta say it right. Devistoya!
Devastoya. Um,
Devistoya! Yeah,
Whoa.
man!
Look at that 900 bitty drop.
and we
Woo!
have
Dad?
that's hashtag, of course. And Crazy Jaeger, welcome in. And I know there's more here, but you haven't chatted, so if I don't see your name and not mentioning you, it's not because I don't want to say your name. But now I see Prime and he's saying hello. So there's Prime and Jax. Um Debbie just got a 1K bits badge. Uh Daily Darson? Okay.
Daily Dares 1.
Daily. Okay, I see that now. Like when all the words are crunched together, I'm thinking one word. All right. So, you guys, we have a special treat for you guys tonight. We have the one and only, I call him Shibs, but he goes by Shibbs the Zombie. Um, and I'm going to ask a question right out of the gate and get the talk going. I want to know where you came up with your name, Shibs the Zombie.
Shibs the Zombie. Well, hello everybody. It's me, Shibs the Zombie. My name is Justin, by the way, if you didn't know. But Shibs or Shibby is actually my nickname that everybody's been calling me since middle school. Shibs the Zombie comes from my love of zombie movies, and Shibby originated from the movie Dude, Where's My Car, actually.
Shibby.
There in the movie, they there's a couple of times they say Shibby. It's kind of like their catchphrase. And when I was in middle school, I fell in love with that movie. I was super obsessed with Dude, Where's My Car? It's probably one of the stupidest bad movies out there, but I loved it and I watched it all the time to the point where like I was quoting the movie and I was with a group of friends and we were talking about something and we were all just kind of riffing off of each other and then I used Shibby in a joke that I was saying and everybody just ended up calling me Shibs and Shibby for the rest of the time, and I just been going by that. So mixing movies, mixing my love of movies into everything that I do. So it's like it's in my email address, it's in like screen names I use. So Shibby the Zombie is where that originated from. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, going from that, I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about yourself to get us started before we just dive right into the crazy question. So, tell us a little bit about how you got started streaming and how you got started on Twitch.
So I watch a lot of YouTube and I do watch a little bit of Twitch. I didn't watch too much Twitch back in the day. But I was like, man, look at all these people just having a good time streaming and chatting with the community and things like that. And I was like, oh man, they're also making money off of it too. So I was like, well, I'm gonna just give it a shot. At the time, like, I think I first started streaming because this isn't my first Twitch channel. I've actually had one other Twitch channel that went by a different name. Still with Shibs, but I deleted that channel ever since. But I had an old HP Micro Tower 3500 that I was trying to stream games on, and it was probably it barely allowed me to like use a webcam. So I didn't use webcam for like I don't know, 20 episodes or something like that. I had a few streams and I had a few like episodes that I actually made for specifically for like YouTube and things. And I could barely use webcam. I could barely play any games, but I just used like my PC on whatever PC games I wanted to play. But I mostly used my computer for like PS4 games. So I always streamed like Apotheon and things like that. And I know that the PS4 has like a streaming setup, and I had a webcam for the PS4. I just didn't like the layout. I didn't like that I didn't have control over the PlayStation streaming layout. So I used my PC. I bought a Elgato 60 HD capture card, and I just went for it. Like I was jobless at the time. I was kind of living off unemployment, working in Escondido, which is close to San Diego, California, and I just did it. I went for it. I said, screw it. I edited the videos. I did everything myself. I mean, I still do, but it was tough work just because my computer couldn't handle it at all. It was terrible. And I did that for a little bit. My YouTube channel actually started gaining like a lot of traction because of this. So just kind of throw in a quick context. I made a FedEx video, and
Yes.
it was around the time when FedEx started getting like super popular because of the destruction of packages and things like that. So FedEx was catching a lot of flack. So I made a FedEx video ranting about it. You can't find it anymore unless like you really deep dive and you can find the episode. I haven't been able to find the episode, but I'm on 2020 ABC's 2020 with what was it called? It was like True Detective, True whatever it was. It was like ABC 2020's True Special Event thing, whatever it
Like
was.
inside look.
Yeah, an inside look to like FedEx and things like that. And my video was thrown in. Again, this is a rant video. My intentions weren't to like be famous or nothing. It's just like something I was super pissed off about all the time about working at FedEx. And I'm sure Eddie has some like some comments to say about FedEx. But made the video. I was contacted by a producer of ABC, and then they wanted to use my video. And the whole crazy thing about it was that they didn't contact me first. They actually contacted my friend's then brand new girlfriend, and she got a message, and then she ended up just relaying it. So it ended up just being like one whole relay thing, which is super weird how they got a hold of me. They didn't even try like DMing me on YouTube or anything like that. But anyway, they're like, hey, let's use the clip. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Just use my nickname instead of my real name. So instead, in the video, they say this man instead of saying my nickname. So I was kind of pissed off by that. But anyway, I was on ABC's 2020 for like I would say a good 5-second clip of my video. I think they used like 2 5-second clips of my video, and then that just shot my YouTube channel up. I think it got to like, God, man, I don't know. I had a ton of like subscribers and I had a ton of views. I think that video alone had like 30 or 40,000 views to it. And I was just like, oh, I'm Mr. Fancy and everything. But I think that's what really like started kicking off my streaming and my YouTube channel for gaming, because of that moment where I was like, oh man, there's actually people out there watching me, and I was like doing this, just struggling, 1, maybe 2 viewers here and there. But it wasn't anything too significant. And that kind of just like inspired me to want more, just not because it's a whole money thing. It's more of like, man, like there's people out there that enjoy watching you play games. Cause like I grew up in a house where, my brother would watch me play games. My stepsister would watch me play games. And then we would all play games together from time to time, and I like that feeling of entertaining people. I'm definitely an entertainment personality, um, but and that's why I do it, and that's why I continue to do it. Now I have a new rig. I have a room that I can actually do it in instead of a kitchen, and I have this really nice setup, and I'm actually super thankful for like everything that I have at the current moment in time. I think, you know, my friends, the people that are tuning in to watch this, my followers, you know, everybody that I've come into contact with, like, I really appreciate like where they're taking me. Yeah, I'm not Mr. Famous Ninja or anything like that, but you know, I appreciate what I have right now and the people that I've come in contact with throughout this whole endeavor. So it's been a crazy, I want to say like 6 or 7 years. It's just nonstop, just different things going on all the time in my life, good or bad. But it's like I'm always going and I'm never stopping. So I'm just like a comet in space. Yeah.
That is really interesting to learn about you. I had no idea. That's pretty cool how they reached out and wanted to use some of your video.
Oh yeah, it was really weird. It caught me off guard, and I was like kind of skeptical too. I was like, I don't know if this sounds legit. I was super skeptical. I was like, yeah, don't use my real name. You know, you can only use this part. Yeah, I was pretty picky about the whole thing. I'm pretty sure the producer was kind of pissed off at me, but I don't know. I just didn't want any creepos like finding out where I lived or anything like that at the time.
Right. Well, I learned recently that you went on a vacation. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I went on vacation for 8 days, and it was really fun. Um, it was actually my first plane ride, which was very intense. I'm afraid of heights, so uh, being on a plane was a little bit nerve wracking. But I managed, and I landed and made it safe. And I landed in Florida, and I went to Walt Disney World. So I had like I think a 6 7 day pass or whatever to all 4 parks: Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. So yeah, I spent the entire week getting drunk at Disneyland. It was no, honestly, I didn't. Really didn't start getting drunk until probably like our second to third day in, because they don't really have much alcohol or options to choose from at Magic Kingdom, but Animal Kingdom and Epcot definitely have a lot of drinking options over there. But it was fun. Yeah, it was my first time in being on the East Coast at all. I've never left the West Coast. I'll tell you that right now. I think the furthest I've gone out of California, which is where I'm from, is like Las Vegas. I think that's the furthest away from California I've ever been, and that's like 3 hours away. So that's really, for me at least, and it's really nothing. It's not a huge trip. But you know, hey, at least I have the privilege of going to Vegas on a whim, and you know, not having to worry about it, about being late, or you know, being on the
Right.
road for too long. But this was like the first like huge cross country trip for me, and it was really exciting. You know, when I got on that plane, I was like, wow, is this really happening? And I started crying a little bit. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe we're doing this. And it was fun. The the plane ride there was a little jittery, so that kind of struck the nerves a little bit. But the landing was great. Planes are cool. They're just giant Airbuses, which I guess that's what they call them. I remember being like mid-flight, I'm like, oh, this is just pretty much like a big old Airbus. And then everybody's like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm like, oh, okay. No, it was fun. Yeah, I gotta say, for anybody who's from California and has been to Disneyland Anaheim, I gotta say, I'm just gonna give Magic Kingdom credit. Their Space Mountain is better than the Anaheim Space Mountain. I'm just gonna say it. There's like so much more cool stuff to see and on that ride. It's a way better experience. Also, it's a single lane car instead of like a dual lane car. So instead of having 2 people, you have one person, kind of like on the Matterhorn ride in Anaheim. what is it? Yeah, so I just like the layout of their Space Mountain better, and it also seems a little faster too. But yeah, I mean, a lot of rides. I think we rode everything except for a couple of things that were closed because of COVID regulations or whatever. We saw like a couple of 3D shows. Yeah, it was a good time. I had a blast. I would totally go back again. I would probably spend most of my time in like Animal Kingdom or Epcot though. Those are pretty much my favorite parks. Epcot because there's a lot of food and a lot of drinking, and Animal Kingdom just because that park is really beautiful. And I think one takeaway out of all of this going to Florida is like I know I've been told like many times that like, oh yeah, Florida's flat, it doesn't have any mountains. I was like, oh okay, Florida's pretty flat, so maybe they have some like hills, maybe they have some like uh you know uh, slopes of some sort that cars go up. No, Florida is completely 100% flat. It was wild to not see mountains surrounding me. Usually, because where I live, I walk out the door and there's a huge mountain blocking the sun. It's it was definitely way different. But I will say I think, and maybe I haven't spent enough time driving in Florida, but Florida drivers, man, y'all are really nice compared to California drivers. Man, everybody was so courteous in Florida compared to California. Everybody in California wants to get ahead of you for some reason all the time. Everybody in Florida is like, no, you go, you wait, or no, you go, I'll wait. It was such a weird thing for me that everybody was kind of like really respectful on the road. Very strange, but I had I had a great trip though. I would definitely go back again. I think the next time is that I'll probably save like a few days to go to other places and check out Florida, explore Florida a little bit more, like Universal Studios or whatever. But yeah,
Well,
it was.
you got to wait until the Nintendo World comes out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're
definitely going.
Yeah, we're getting one here in California too, so I don't have to go too far.
Debbie also said, "Come to Jersey, you'll think Cali is nice."
I've always wanted to go to Jersey and check out like the filming locations for movies. So I definitely want to go on a round the world trip and go explore a bunch of different like movie locations. So that'll be like Jersey and a bunch of other places. Texas, I want to go check out Texas. Like there's a lot of things that I want to do and check out. Yeah, maybe one day. Who knows? You go 2 to 3 times a year. Wow, that's a
I
lot
like
of Jersey.
a prime suggestion that we should all meet up at Nintendo World.
Oh man, yeah, I'm down.
Bring your Switches.
Yeah.
Bring your Switch.
Oh, I got my Switch Lite.
Well, because that's what they say, though. I don't know if it's just going to be the Japan one or all of them, but if you bring your Switch, there's sections of the park that you interact with your Switch.
Well, good thing that me and my girlfriend have a Switch. Nice, dude. That sounds so fun. I can't wait for that to open. I love theme parks. That's like my favorite thing to do.
I'm just gonna ask this right now, just because it's a little more, it's relevant and quick. Jax wants to ask, did you wrestle a gator in Florida?
No, but there were a lot of ducks that I could have manhandled. I didn't see any gators, just a lot of ducks, a lot of exotic birds that I've never seen before, which was pretty wild. There's like this weird like pelican-looking bird, but it was like it was like swimming around like a duck. I was like, what the heck is that? What planet did we land on?
Well, shifting gears a little bit, I saw the photos from your trip and it looked like you guys had a great time, so I had to ask about that. It was actually on my list, and then I saw Supremacy in Italian was like, oh, that's her question. I didn't even see her ask it. I'm just looking at my list. So we had the same question to ask. But another question I like to ask our streamers, just out of curiosity, if you had intro music when you entered a room, what song would it be and why?
Repeat that one more time. You cut out like for me, real quick. What was that question?
If you had intro music when you entered a
Hmm.
room, which song would it be
Oh,
and why?
oh, you know what? It'll be "I Believe in a Thing Called Love" by The Darkness. I believe in a thing called love.
Yeah.
There's a chance you can make it now. If the rocket goes round, I make
That is awesome.
yeah, that would be my song for sure. That or um, no, I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah, that'll be my song.
So, but why that song? What?
Oh, okay. Well, in the if you've seen the music video, which if you've never seen, I Believe in a Thing Called Love by The Darkness. If you haven't seen their music video, go check it out. It's awesome. It is so like 80s without being 80s. I don't know how to describe it, but I would walk in. Uh, I would walk into a room dressed like that guy for sure. But I think that song is like super weird, and I think it kind of just clicks with my personality. I feel like I'm a self-proclaimed weird person. I just like weird comedy. I like weird things. Whenever someone goes on like a vacation, I'm like, hey, bring me back something unique and weird that you normally wouldn't see at like a gift shop or something like in California. Like we have all kinds of tourism, we have all kinds of gift shops. Like bring me something that you feel is like unique. So I have like a bunch of different random knickknacks and things that people have given me over the years, and I appreciate stuff like that. I'm the type of person that likes, like, if you want to know what my comedy style or sense is, I love Tim and Eric. I love like Eric Andre. I love Jackass. I love CKY. I love all that really grungy, um, comedy groups and music and things like that. So that's just kind of my vibe. I just like things that are just different, and they're inspired. When these people create these works of art and movies and music, and it just looks and feels inspired. I really like the uniqueness of it. I'm definitely an avid art collector. I have all kinds of like different art pieces and posters that I have yet to hang up, and I feel so bad. But um, I just like to just look at interesting things because it takes my mind off of everything else in the world. So as far as like the darkness goes and that song, it's definitely because it's like I think of myself when I listen to that song. Is that weird to say?
No.
I was like, yeah, I also sing that song a lot for karaoke. I love, 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 love karaoke. And I heard a guy sing it one time, and I was like, man, that song is actually pretty dope. So then I just stole that song from him. So, but
That's awesome.
mhm.
I'm definitely gonna have to check that song out.
Yeah, it's a good one. It'll entertain the ears.
Okay. Um. All right. So moving on. Um. Not work related and not streaming related. How much time do you spend on the internet?
I don't use the internet at work anymore at all. Because I work in a kitchen now, so
Hmm.
I really didn't. So that was, but man, I'm on the internet all the time. When I'm not streaming, I'm on my phone. When I'm not on my phone, I'm playing video games. When I'm not playing video games, I'm always connected in some aspect, some form. Um, I love technology and the internet too much. So I would say I would be on the internet at the least, like 20 hours a day. Okay,
Oh,
well, I'll
so
throw in some sleep in there, so I'll say about like 16, 15. We'll give it a reasonable real number.
I think that's majority. I think that's majority of people. Honestly, even when we think we're not, we are.
Hmm. We definitely always are. And then like you have like Google and Alexa and Siri always listening. So, you know,
Yes.
uh,
There's
oh,
been many times where I'm talking to somebody and my phone will light up and they're like, "Oh, well, we can't find what you were looking for." And I'm like, "I didn't ask you for anything. I'm talking to somebody else."
you
Mhm.
ever,
Um,
have you guys ever, like set your phone like with the screen side down and on the table like near you, and then you turn the vibration off your phone, but when someone texts you, the light on their phone comes on, you're just like, you're looking at it and you're like, oh man, should I get it or should I just keep myself away from the internet for a little bit?
yeah.
I always go for it.
Yeah. I've definitely been there for sure.
Mhm.
Okay. So, when you were a little kid, as far back as you can remember, what was
Mhm.
your favorite video game? Now, I'm not talking about teenage, or
Like little kid.
adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Toddler.
I have small kids and
Mhm.
I have one of them that's into Minecraft and then I have one that's into Fortnite. But now either one will play either game, but they just specifically like those games in general. And you know, and then we have our 4-year-old that's trying to pick up on some of these games, and she plays um, Fortnite, but she only plays it when my older daughter
Check it
plays,
out,
and
man.
then she's also been playing Minecraft as well. So
Mhm.
I don't think that game will die out anytime soon. It's been around for a long time, but um, I'm always interested in adults. What did they play when they were little? Because when I was little, um, now I think I'm older than majority that's in SSG right now that I know of.
Mhm.
So I played on the Atari, and I also played on some other consoles previous to the Atari. So,
Mhm.
um, what do you remember liking as a kid?
So I was 3 years old, and my first console, which my parents already purchased, they just like gave it to me because they're not a child apparently. But um, they gave me a Sega Genesis, and my first video game that I played ever, and I think it was honestly the only video game I played until I was like old enough to really start understanding like there's other games out there besides just this one. But it was Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in particular.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that's a good one.
that game is probably my favorite game of all time just because it has so much nostalgia. I love playing it. I can sit down and go. I think I even recently, or one of the last couple of streams, I streamed that game and I was trying to do like my own personal speed run. I'm not a professional speedrunner, so I'm pretty sure there's people that can beat me, but I feel like I play Sonic the Hedgehog 2 pretty fast. I can complete it within the hour. If I'm like really trying, I could probably complete it under an hour. But um, yeah, it's been my favorite game. I've been playing that game since I was 3. I remember playing it when I was 3. I remember my mom would bring out a cardboard box for me to sit in so I can play it. I don't know why, but I loved sitting in a cardboard box playing Sega Genesis. I think the other game that we had, it was like an Aladdin game, possibly. I'm not too sure. I think we had some kind of other Disney game that came out for the Genesis, and I played that one too. But the game that I played the most, and I played it every day, all the time, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It's such a great game, and I feel like kind of like how Mario is for the Nintendo, is what Sonic is obviously for their Genesis. I just feel like it's
Yep,
the
USD
perfect
at
game that you got
750
speed, you
USD.
got action,
Like
you can
everyone in
defeat
total is
enemies, you have
2.
bosses,
Uh,
you collect things, you have secret side missions that you can do if you spin the uh, little checkpoint thing and you jump into the stars. There's just so many different like characters and enemies that you can fight. um, I don't know. I think Sonic is probably one of the better games. I mean, I'm biased. I grew up with the Sega. I didn't grow up with the Nintendo, but I honestly think that Sonic is a bit better of a franchise than Mario, even though Sonic is kind of like a faster ripoff. I feel like Sonic is a better game. I love Mario and everything, but I can't connect to the characters and the story. Just because, well, probably because I didn't grow up with it, but I connect with Sonic a little bit more. So the Sega Genesis was definitely my console of choice. It was the only console I had. I think the next console I had after the Sega Genesis though was a Nintendo 64, mostly because I wanted 007 GoldenEye.
That was my game. I loved that game. That was
By the
my
way,
game.
By the way, I still have my Nintendo 64 and 007 and Perfect Dark, and I have a bunch of other games. So maybe I'll stream those games sometime.
Oh, wow. All right. So I have another question, and this is going to be it for me because there's quite a bit of questions in the chat, and I don't want to hold everybody up from hearing your answers. So I want to know how you met Supremacy and why are you still friends with him?
Why am I still friends with him? Because he forces me to be friends with him. No, I'm just joking. Okay, we met in college. He was just this random guy that was gonna be my roommate. I wish I got to the apartment earlier because then I probably would have been his actual like live-in roommate. I was going to be in the same room with him, but I got there a little bit too late. I was told to get there at a specific time, and then I was like, I want to get there early so I can choose my room, but everybody else had the same idea. So, I wasn't really late. I just showed up on time, which was the wrong thing to do.
And just so you guys know, this was a 4-bedroom apartment with 8 guys.
8 men. It was terrible. I'll tell you that. Hey, everybody at that apartment was cool. I loved everybody there. But it was the worst living conditions you could have ever seen. Honestly, I loved going into Eddie's room because his room was clean. My room was clean too, but his room was like the only one I was like I really wanted to step in and hang out in because his room was actually clean. So he's lucky. He's lucky he had a roommate that didn't really have much of anything, unfortunately.
Well, I would have preferred you as a roommate than my original roommate.
But yeah, we we met day one of student housing of college, and we were both going to the art institute, the con artist art institute of Inland Empire in California, and God, that school sucked ass. It really did. But all the experiences I gained from it were pretty awesome. And I think I don't remember exactly like what really kicked off our friendship, but I think it was the love of Halo. And then Halo 3,
to Left 4 Dead.
Halo 3 and Left 4 Dead were the two like big blockbuster games that came out right around when we were both in college. And we just fucking went ham on Halo. We skipped class for like days, not even like one day or a couple hours. No, we went like a week without going to class at times, just playing Halo and Left 4 Dead. I mean, if you think about it, it's like, why not like chum it up a little bit? Because, I mean, obviously all that you're already paying thousands and thousands of dollars in student loans, paying for like the rent for the apartment and paying for the schooling. So we're like, you know what? We're technically kind of sort of living for free. So let's just fuck around. And can I curse on this show? I'm going to curse anyway.
Yeah, you're good.
So we just ended up fucking around and playing video games and just becoming the closest of friends. And it was and then he asked me to marry him. And I, unfortunately, accepted.
And the funny thing about our friendship is we're two totally opposite of each other. Like, you wouldn't think we'll be friends. especially
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
back then.
yeah, I always viewed Eddie as this like low key undercover like gangbanger. Like, to be honest, I was like, man, this guy. I was like, this guy's kind of gangster looking. He's kind of
Whoa.
scary. No, but no, he ended up being like the nicest, cuddliest little man on the planet. So I love him to death, and I'm glad he's my friend, and I'm glad we've stuck it out here as long as we have, and hopefully we'll be like old men in our fucking 90s playing video games, being online, streaming. Man, I hope I can stream until I'm 90. That'd be great.
When Halo 20 comes out.
Halo 20, yeah, that franchise is going. They're gonna run that franchise straight into the ground by the time that happens. Man, Halo 99. I don't know, whatever. But
I mean, every time, like you said, we're big into Halo. Every time a Halo game dropped, me and Shibby all the time, especially us two, and a couple of our friends there would make it. Literally stayed up for as long as we can, probably like 30 hours, just playing the campaigns fully, and then getting to the multiplayer.
Yeah, there was one point in time we were a part of a
clan.
like clan. Yeah, we did like tournaments and things like that. Yeah, it was pretty dope. I enjoy Halo. I love Halo, by the way. That's my favorite Xbox game of all time. I guarantee you, whoever wants to challenge me on Halo 1, I guarantee you I'll whip your ass at Halo 1. I guarantee it. I'm really good
having us together.
I'm really good at Halo, and I will brag about that. That's like one of my key traits of my being, is being really good at Halo. So hey, if you want to challenge me, Halo's on PC now, so I'm down. Let's battle. I'll whoop your ass. I promise.
Well, Supremacy, it's your turn, unless hashtag has questions. It's your turn to read the chat, so it's either up to you or Hash.
Hit it. Go ahead.
I always say Hash go first, so yeah,
No.
Hash.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I haven't heard from you all day.
I know. I'm just sitting back waiting on my segment.
Oh,
All right.
gotcha.
All right, so I have a few questions before I'll ask the chat questions.
Sure.
I mean, I know most of these answers, but just for everybody that doesn't know us or you, how many video games do you own?
Holy crap! Are you guys sure you want to know that? Because that's whew, sometimes I look at it, I'm like, man, I spent too much. Okay. I'm just gonna do this kind of like off the cuff verbatim for the most part. I don't really know the exact count, and I'm not gonna sit here to do the exact count. But I think on Xbox I own, and this is just Xbox 360. That was the last Xbox console I've owned. On the Xbox 360, I owned like over 100 games, I think. On the original Xbox, which I still have, I think I own about 60 games on that. I have like 20 Nintendo 64 games. I have 7 PS1 games.
What's your Steam account?
It's what is my Steam account?
No, well, like what? How many games do you have on Steam?
Oh, you mean how many games do I have on Steam? I have 333 games on Steam. I have over 250 games on PlayStation 4, and counting. I have too many games, and I also have a bunch of physical copies. I think I have at least 25 physical copies of games as well. And I also do have a ton of duplicates, just because like if I really like a game and it's on multiple consoles, I like to have the ability to play on different like consoles or PC or whatever. So I definitely do have a few doubles in there. But I have a lot of games. I have also been gifted a lot of games too from friends. They're like, "Hey, I bought a Humble Bundle. Do you want a game?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll take your game or two." And they usually, they don't give me. I have a lot of games that aren't like the greatest looking, and they kind of look kind of cheap, but but I do have a lot of good ones in there too. So if you ever want to check out my library, Shibby the Zombie on Steam. you can look at, I think my profile's open to public, so you can look at all the achievements that I have through all the purchases that I made. I have a lot of purchase badges. So yeah, it's insane. But I have a crap ton of games. But
Not only that, he has like probably like especially on Steam, he'll have like somehow 3 of the same game, and randomly I'll get Shibby the Zombie gave you this game.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes like I'll accidentally purchase like Steam does this from time to time, and they have bundles that you can purchase for like up to 4 people. So sometimes I'll be, oh, that's a really good deal. It'll be like $20 for a bundle of 4, but I won't see that it says bundle of 4. So I'll purchase it, and I'll be like, oh, I got like 3 extra copies that I can give to my friends now. Sometimes I'll forget about it. It'll just stay in my library. I still have a ton of games like that where I have like extra copies for. I think I'm gonna save them for like giveaways or something like that, because I know you guys have like some similar games. I'll have to go through it and look, but yeah, I especially with like Humble Bundle. I have Humble Bundle codes that I haven't even used yet. I have like I have a 3-month Xbox Game Pass that I don't know what to do with because I already pay for it monthly, and I'll probably end up giving that away eventually when I plan on doing it. I know I've been saying it for a long time, but I do plan on having a giveaway stream on my stream. I just have been trying to not be busy so I can do it. And I also need to figure out the logistics for it, because I do have a ton of stuff that I want to give away. And hopefully I can do it soon. I need to just get off my ass and just like focus on doing it, because I didn't get a chance to celebrate my affiliate, and I also didn't get a chance to celebrate my first 100 followers for Twitch. So as soon as I'm like not lazy, I'm gonna do the giveaway, and I'll definitely let SSG know and all my friends and whoever wants to join in. But yeah, I have a ton of games, so I don't know why sometimes.
All right. How many days out of the year do you visit Disneyland?
Before COVID, I'd say I visited Disneyland. I'm was an annual pass holder up until I think the end of 2018. I think December 2018 was the last time I had a pass. But I probably went 3 to 4 times a month. Yeah, just about 3 to 4 times a month. I mean, a lot of people will say, it's just like the same rides and the same theme park over and over and over again. But to be honest, like, yeah, I get that, and I understand people's perspective, but I don't know about everybody else. I'm definitely a person that loves to just escape reality, whether it's through a movie or through playing video games or reading. I do read from time to time. I haven't read a book in like a couple of years, but I'm thinking about maybe picking up 1 or 2 pretty soon here. We'll see. I might be too invested in video games, but there's a couple of novels out there that I might want to read. But with that being said, I like to escape reality. I think reality personally, and it's not saying that I'm not happy, because I am definitely a very happy person, but I think life is really shitty to everybody. I don't think I think you're being naive if you think that life is all peaches and cream all the time. I think it's a super naive idea to have, but that's just my opinion. You don't have to listen to me. And I think like having an escape and somewhere to go. I can't necessarily afford to fly all the time. Like going on that vacation was like the first time I ever flew, mostly because like it used to be expensive. Now because of COVID, you can fly for like a couple $100 to anywhere in the United States, and it was just a way to like do something without having to, like, just think about it this way. Like when you buy a house and you have like landscapers taking care of your lawn, isn't that kind of like an escape from your reality? Like that's an escape from you having to physically mow the lawn. Going to Disneyland is like me hiring landscapers to mow the lawn. I just want to escape reality. When you go to Disneyland, everything is catered to you. Yeah, you have to wait in a couple of like long lines, but that's just the game of Disneyland in general, or going to a theme park in general. But going to Disneyland, like, you have a catered experience. I love Disney movies. I may not agree with Disney practices as a business, but that's where you kind of got to separate, Disney as a business from like the stuff that they produce to make people happy. I love going on Space Mountain 20 times. I love going on Pirates of the Caribbean 20 times. I love going on Haunted Mansion 20 times. It's just an escape from reality, and I appreciate Disneyland and theme parks that go through the steps of making it as immersive as possible. Like, there and the history behind Disney and the lore and just everything about that environment just makes me really happy, and it just kind of takes you away from like the everyday grind of like going to work, going to bed, cooking. It's like having a vacation that's close to home, where you can still feel like you're on vacation, but I can go home afterwards, like immediately afterwards, and then I can just show up like the next day and do it all over again. I think there's like, and it. I don't know if like people are like really familiar with like Disneyland, but there's also like communities built around these theme parks. There's a ton of like YouTubers that give you extra facts, or they kind of give you the hookup, or keep you in the know of like new merch that's coming out, because I sure do love getting some Disney merch. I actually bought some of those new emos, and even though they're expensive, they're so adorable. Like, oh man, well, we could talk about that later. But that's why I love Disneyland, though. It's a place to go to have fun, to chill, to relax, and just ride your favorite rides, meet some characters. Overall, just having a good time. Like, going to the mall for some people is like their thing. Disneyland is like my mall. I can give all kinds of different references of what Disneyland is like, but at the end of the day, it's it's my personal thing that I love to do. If I can go to Disneyland every day of my life, I probably would. To be honest, I'm like that big of a fan of going. Well, honestly, to be honest, I'll probably like want a couple of days off. It's a lot of walking, but yeah, that's why I love Disneyland. It's a cool place, and there's always something new and different going on. So there's always some new thing happening. So yeah, I also like Castle Park.
Oh
if you
my
guys don't know,
god, I haven't thought about Castle Park so long.
if you don't know what Castle Park is, then you're not a California or San Bernardino local, obviously. But Castle Park has been around for a long time, and there's been like other like theme parks, like miniature theme parks, like Scandia, or even Boomers, that have kind of like slowly died out over the years. But Castle Park is probably the only other park in California that actually has stood the test of time against parks like Disneyland. It's not a big park at all. It's a small park. Like I said, it's kind of like a Boomers, but I think it's a step above a Boomers, or a step above a Scandia. I feel like Castle Park, they take care of that park really, really well. And honestly, like, they've been running that business for so long, I'm pretty sure they're just cruising along. Like, they've actually been allowed to be open for like most of this pandemic here in California too. So like, they've been just breaking in business this entire time, because nobody's able to go to Disneyland out here, or Six Flags, or Knott's Berry Farm. But definitely, if you're ever in California, again, like, it's like a cheap version of like Disneyland, I guess. It's castle themed. It's a cool place to take your kids. Definitely, I recommend, if you're gonna go, take your kids, because it's more of a kid friendly theme park. But man, I've been going there since like, I think my whole family has been going there since like the 70s or something like that. I don't know. They've been going, like, Castle Park's been around for a really long time. and it's a fun place to go. Childhood memories, lots of nostalgia. I love that place. I'm probably going to be doing a YouTube video specifically covering Castle Park. So, I'll talk about my YouTube channel later, though.
All right. One last question before I get to everybody else's questions in the chat. Sweet and simple. I know a lot of people have heard me talk about it on my channel, but I want to get your perspective. What is ShibbsTheZombie?
ShibbsTheZombie is our personal game clan called the Soggy Zombie Boys. So the ShibbsTheZombie is SZBZ, Soggy Zombie Boys, and that's kind of like our group that we created for like whenever we want to play Call of Duty or Halo or whatever multiplayer game that we're going to be a part of. We go by the group of Soggy Zombie Boys, and I mean, I think that started because of like Left 4 Dead, and we were doing like online matches or something like that, or it was like Halo, whatever. Oh, it was Halo. It was Halo 3 because there was like a zombie mode that I think we played all the time, and we just sort of like, oh, let's just call ourselves like the Soggy Zombie Boys, and that's where that originated. At least I think that's how I remember it correctly. I don't know how you remember it, Eddie.
Yeah, it was from the Halo days, and just like you, I'm a big zombie fan. But I kind of came up with the name because I was watching Oh Brother Where Art Thou, and their little band name was the Soggy Bottom Boys. So I changed the bottom to zombies.
That's right. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I didn't get that reference. How am I only getting that now? That's
sorrow.
Yep.
Dang, that's a deep cut, man. Wow. Dang.
All right. I kind of have another question as well, but I'm gonna reference this to somebody else's question. Arnie kind of said something about it too right now in the chat. But Slice, she did ask as well, how was your vacation? But what did you bring for her?
What did I bring for? I'm sorry. Repeat that one more time.
Slice wants to know, what did you bring from Disney World for her?
What did I bring for her? Well, she didn't ask me for anything. I did bring stuff back for people. She didn't ask me anything. She didn't ask me anything. I bought a bunch of tiki mugs over at what's that tiki place called that's at Disney Springs? It's called like
I forget.
There's a tiki bar in Disney Springs. Something like Hanger. But I bought these like really cool like Aztec style green tiki mugs, which were pretty cool, and I bought one for a friend as well. And I also bought another mug that they had there. It was like a monkey head mug. It was pretty cool. But
nice.
I mean, I guess Slice is just gonna have to wait till I go back again.
Before I get next question, Vengeful rating with the party. Welcome everybody. Prime asks, what's your favorite zombie movie?
Dawn of the Dead, the 1970. What year did that movie come out? Dawn of the Dead.
I don't remember, the George Clooney and Salma Hayek one.
No.
Or is the older one?
The original Dawn of the Dead. The 1978 Dawn of the Dead. The one where like they're like all the makeup for the zombies, they were just painted white on the face. All the zombies were doing white face, which was pretty funny. I love that movie, and I'll tell you why. It's a.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else, but yeah.
No. Yeah, with Salma Hayek. What? I'm trying to think
of
what movie.
I'm thinking of a different movie.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
All right. But yeah, Dawn of the Dead, 1978. I think it's one of the better zombie movies out there. They have a great cast, like with like Ken Foree and David. I always forget how to pronounce his last name. And then Galen Ross dude, like those actors like made that movie. I don't think if they had any other actors play those roles, I don't think it would have. I think if they had like bigger mainstay actors in the role of this movie, I don't think it would have played out as good. Just because these guys were like mostly like pretty new to the movie industry, or or they had some like records under their belt. But I think just their communication between each other as actors was like really smooth and believable. Now you have to take into consideration that this movie was made in 1978, so obviously they didn't have like the biggest budget. And I mean, neither did Night of the Living Dead, but this movie took the concept of Night of the Living Dead, expanded on it. Where will we be now that the zombies are here? Or what the movie, I'll quote the movie, is like, when hell is full, the zombies will, or the dead will rise and walk the earth. um, I think that's a cool concept, and I also feel like it's a little bit on the creepy side, just for how they like tell the story. They don't necessarily like, because when the movie starts, it kind of just throws you immediately into the action. It starts off like with like this hotel, or not a hotel, but like a home type of deal, like a apartment home style. Everybody's living like one building, and there's like people going crazy, and you can't tell if they're like on crack or if they're um, like trying to murder somebody. But these police are like trying to figure it out and everything. And I think that the way that they tell the story, they don't necessarily like tell you outright like this is what's happening, but they just throw little things out here and there, that allow you to like understand it, in like little bits. But it ultimately at the end, uh, kind of brings the movie together, and it just tells the story like really really well, even though they have like zombies with just white makeup or paint on their face walking around. If you've never seen the original 1978 Dawn of the Dead, then you haven't seen zombie movies before. Yeah, there's that, I think 2003 or 2005 Dawn of the Dead that came out, and that's a really good movie. I'll give that movie credit too. That's a really good zombie movie. But I just think the original 1978 is the better of the zombie genre in general, just because of its pacing, its storytelling, its acting, its characters, and its environment. I feel like the environment of the mall in general that takes place, that they pretty much 90% of the movie takes place in this mall. I think the mall is a character in of itself too, and they kind of like build around the environment of that mall. Which, by the way, you can still go to that mall today and check it out. I think it's somewhere in Georgia. I think somewhere out there. But Dawn of the Dead, absolutely my favorite movie of all time. But I am a zombie aficionado. I love zombie movies. I love horror movies. I'm a really really big horror movie buff. I haven't seen it all, but I've seen a lot of different styles of horror movies, and I'll never get tired of it. I can sit here and watch horror movies all day, every day, never get tired of it. It's just one of the best forms of entertainment, and I feel like it's one of the most underappreciated forms of entertainment in the movie industry, or one of the more underrated categories, I'll say. I think horror movies have way more potential than some of these like Emmy winning, Golden Globe winning, blockbusters out here. But I feel like when you're making a budget movie at like a zombie movie or a horror movie, I feel like more creativity goes into that genre. Just because like if you look at it, you got movies like The Conjuring, who have like a really great story, even though it's like loosely, and I'll say very loosely, based off of real events of Ed and Lorraine Warren. But I just like the creativity behind it. With like was it James Wan, the director of the Conjuring movies. I think he has a very creative and almost like a semi-realistic like vision of the events that supposedly happened. But I love his his I love the creation of the characters, like the ghosts and zombies and other monsters that are throughout those movies. I think they're like really well made, really well designed, and really well thought out. But there's like a bunch of other horror movies and zombie movies that um, have a lot of creativity behind it. Like honestly, if I told you if you could like make a blood bag explode from the back of somebody's head to make it look like they were shot in the brain, honestly, like what would you do? Like I couldn't even fathom to figure out how to even pull that off in the first place. I'm gonna need like explosives, but explosives that aren't like large enough that'll blow off the person's head, the actor's head. I'm gonna need to make like a bunch of fake blood, but I need to make it look realistic. You know, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into horror movies that I don't think really is appreciated as much as they should be. And I feel like the horror genre should be pulled from like the SAG Awards or the Emmys or the Golden Globes or the Academy Awards. I think that genre should be pulled out and have its own kind of like thing where they give out awards for like the people that do extremely detailed and awesome work on horror movies and monster movies and anything else involving the horror thriller genre. So, but going back, Dawn of the Dead, 1978, best zombie movie ever.
Well, that was a long answer.
Thank you.
um, well, on that note, Prime also added, "What's your survival plan to the zombie apocalypse?"
Um, yeah, and I've thought about this a lot, and I used to think that going to the mall was pretty cool. I was like, oh yeah, but then you're in like a confined space, and then if you're in the middle of the woods, you're susceptible for being attacked at random at any point in time without warning. Um, if you're in a big city, there's a lot of hordes, a lot of different zombies. But if you're in a high rise, like a high rise is cool, but you're always going to be traveling and walking to for resources and food. So being in a high rise is like not great. I honestly think the best route for surviving a zombie movie or a zombie apocalypse in general is always being on the move. Always, it doesn't matter. You got to keep going, because you never know what's behind you. You never know what's around the corner. I would say and also it's pretty good just because was it keeping on moving is good because you're always constantly looking for resources. You can find, I'm pretty sure that if you just look around and you keep going and you keep walking, like never have an official destination, but the goal is to just keep going and keep surviving until you can't anymore. And I think that's literally the only thing that you can do, because if you're held up in one location, I don't think that's necessarily the best of ideas, because eventually you're just going to run out of resources time and time again. I think if anything, if you needed to stay, like you had a huge group of people that you're just for whatever reason in charge of, I think building up a self-sustainable farm and camp, barricaded, like maybe build like a giant fence or wall around it, would probably be the best idea. But then the logistics and the time and then the effort of having to build this place would probably be more hassle than anything. So I think honestly, just traveling light, traveling with as few people as possible, and just constantly just going. Like I think that's literally the only thing that you can do. Surviving a zombie apocalypse.
It's surviving. All right. Daily, there's some mentioned.
Yeah.
Tell us about your buddy, Mr. Artichoke.
Mr. Artichoke. I think he also mentioned a question about the peanut butter situation as well. Pardon me. Mr. Artichoke. Oh boy, live on stream, eh? He wants me to tell the story live on stream. Okay, so let me just give some context. And this is not going to be involving anything that we've talked about tonight, but I went to a party, and it was a family friend party. and I think it was a birthday party in particular. I'm not too sure. I don't remember much of that night. Actually, I'll just say I remember maybe 10% of that night. So obviously there's drinking involved and things like that. So we were playing like typical beer pong, typical King's Cup, and things like that. And I was like occasionally drinking throughout the night, but it got to one point where like just a ton of people just showed up and they like busted through the door and they brought a huge ass table and then they brought a huge ass bucket. I think I could literally lay down in the bucket if I wanted to. It was a huge bucket. And I'm 6'2", by the way, and I weigh I think 280, 290 or something like that. And I'm a big guy, and I think I was around the same weight around that time, maybe. But so 6'2" and about 290, and that's how like I could literally fit in this bucket. That's how big this bucket was. It was a plastic bucket for like storage and things like that. So a ton more people showed up to this party, and everybody just kicks off by playing an insane round of like beer pong. I think it was like a 4-on-4 or something like that. So we had like 2 tables crossed, and it was like just like a crazy beer pong experience that I've never ever experienced again. And they weren't like doing like half cups, they weren't doing quarter cups, they were doing full cups of like Budweiser, and I believe Tecate as well. So it was like a mix of the two. So we were just drinking full cups of of Budweiser, and then something I noticed. I started getting a little bit more drunk, but then I started noticing something. They brought out like I think 4 or 5 or I don't know, maybe even 6 gallons of orange juice, and they started pouring the orange juice in this giant bucket. I was like, oh, that's kind of strange. It looks like they're wasting orange juice to me. I was like, oh, they're probably going to make some like mimosas or something. And I don't know. I didn't know what they were doing. And this is when the concept of jungle juice was first introduced into my life, because I never knew what jungle juice was up until this point in time. So this is what they started doing. All the cans that still had beer during the beer pong games, all the beer that was still in the cans or still in the cups, they were dumped into that bucket. And then everybody started doing like shots of vodka and tequila, and then people that didn't finish their shots or lift their shots, it was dumped into the jungle juice. And then I just see everybody starting to pour wine in the jungle juice, like bottles, not even like, oh, here's a cup of wine. No, they literally took a bottle of wine and threw the bottle of wine in there. So they're just mixing all this excess alcohol, beer, vodka, tequila, wine, like you name it, they threw it in there. They didn't care until it was about halfway full. So when it was halfway full, we ended up playing a huge game of King's Cup. It was just a big, long table of, I don't know how many people were playing King's Cup, but it took a while for it to get to your turn when we were playing. So, and we did the flippy cup thing too to like to add an extra challenge to it, I guess. So we went around like time and time and time again. I think we were playing for like 4 hours or something like that, and I got wasted. I was trashed. Like I was brink of blackout trashed. I believe I may even have blanked out because I don't remember this story at all. So, and this is what I mean by I don't remember the artichoke story, because luckily a friend of mine ended up having to record it because I think my friend Blaine was there. Yeah, Blaine was there. Old college roommate also was Blaine. I think he came in after you left, Eddie. Yeah, he took your room. That's why, because you left and Blaine came and took your room. And that's when the apartment really got out of hand. But anyway, yeah, I got slammed. I was trashed. And also just to kind of bring in even more context in, they had this delicious artichoke dip that I was eating throughout the night, and that was literally like the only thing. I love artichoke dip, so I'll go ham on it anytime I see like any kind of. I love dip in general, but artichoke dip is just on a whole other level. I love it so much. So I just eat chips and artichoke dip the entire night while I'm drinking, and that's literally my only food source throughout the whole night is artichoke dip. So by this time, I don't remember anything anymore, and everything else is based off of a recording, which I would totally pull up, but I don't know where to locate it on my computer, and I don't want to like waste the podcast time for looking it up. But this is how it goes. Is again, this is recorded. I was talking about uh, a character named Mr. Artichoke. I created him, Mr. Artichoke, created from the artichoke dip, and I'm throwing up. I'm laying on a slanted grass hill that was in their backyard. So there's like a small little hill that led up to like the back gate of the backyard of the house. And I just decided to lay down in the grass, like I was about to go to sleep, and I was just vomiting. I threw up. Luckily, I didn't throw up anywhere else. I'll toot my own horn, I guess. Like if I ever get to the point where I'm throwing up because I'm too drunk, I'm very courteous. I will hold on to that throw up until I reach the toilet, or if I reach the outside or somewhere that's like not indoors. I am a very courteous vomiter. And I also try to hide my throw up. Like I'll cover my mouth and I'll throw up and everything. It's just like natural reaction. I don't know why I do it. It's just something that I just don't want to be like the person that threw up on someone's couch. I don't ever want to be that person. But I was just throwing up in the grass, laying on my side, throwing up in the grass, and I started like telling this story because everybody came up to me like, Justin, are you all right? Is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, everything's okay. And then they're like, did you have too much to drink? And then I think that's when I started talking about Mr. Artichoke, and then I created this character who, if I'm going to try to remember this correctly because I don't remember the whole recording, but apparently Mr. Artichoke did something that pissed me off, and I was like, oh, God, man, it sucks because I wish I had the recording. It would make so much more sense if I had the recording. But so Mr. Artichoke like made me sick or whatever. He's the one making me throw up, so I'm like pissed off at him. And I guess when Mr. Artichoke did something to me, and I was like super pissed off. Oh man, I can't remember why. But what ended up happening is that I ended up telling the story of me arriving at Mr. Artichoke's house. Mr. Artichoke opens his door, and I guess Mr. Artichoke pissed me off so much that I stabbed him. And I don't know why. I don't know why I told this story, but yeah, it was a crazy, like, super blackout drunk story that I tell. And the funny thing is that like I do this from time to time. I'm not an angry drunk. I'm not a physical person at all. But when I get drunk, or when I have a smoke of the ganj, I like to tell stories. I like to make people laugh. That's just like my personality all around. Is like if I make you laugh, that brings the highlight to my day. That's my life. I love to make people laugh. So I think I just told that story out of a drunken stupor just to make people laugh, and I did. Maybe on my Twitter, which is the same as my Twitch, Shibbs.TheZombie, I'll probably post a sound clip of it later. So just keep an eye on my Twitter, and I'll post a sound clip of the Mr. Artichoke story, and that's so everybody that's listening right now can kind of like be like, oh, okay, and I understand what he's talking about. It's a really funny audio clip. It's about like a minute or two long of me just telling this story about how I stabbed Mr. Artichoke. But that's that's it's a good story for you to listen to. So we'll see what happens. It honestly used to be on. I think it might still be up on a YouTube channel as well as like a special side clip for like my old podcast. But yeah, I'll definitely post it up eventually.
Well, all right. No, that's Mr. Artichoke. So Shibbs, we do have plenty of more questions.
Sure.
I don't want to ask this of you, but we kind of have to because I know you're soon enough going to be shorter time, and we still have a lot more to go on this podcast as well. So we can keep the next question short as sweet as much as you can. I know you go on and on talking.
I can go forever, man. In front of the microphone, I'll keep talking.
But I know you're going to eventually be short of time, just yourself personally. But also with us, we have plenty more podcasts. So I'll go through the next questions real quick. Slice asks, how would you rate our podcast on a scale of 1 to 10?
Because I'm on it, it's now a 10. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just like, okay, I'm going to be honest though. I have yet to listen to this podcast just because my work schedule. I work like mostly in the evenings, and then this show happens on Sunday evenings. So unfortunately, I have yet to hear an episode. Maybe I should just go and check out. Do you guys save the live recordings?
It's on VODs, and it also gets posted to the YouTube.
Gotcha. So then I'll just have to take my time out and listen to the other streamer episodes. But
yeah, they'll be posted on the YouTube every other the following week.
10 out of 10. Would recommend. Yeah.
All right. Prime also asks, being that you worked at FedEx, what is your take on Castaway?
I love Castaway. I don't think it reflects FedEx well at all because all the packages that ended up in the ocean were perfectly preserved for some reason. And that's not an accurate representation of FedEx at all. Those packages would have been destroyed before they got on the shipping plane. Working in FedEx, the packages get destroyed at the hubs 100%, no matter what. Your packages are being manhandled to death by FedEx employees trying to load a truck in a specific amount of time while trying to meet quota at the same time. There is no way your package isn't coming to you dented in some shape or form. Your package may arrive okay, but FedEx packages will never ever, the boxes will never ever arrive to you without a dent or scratch or something being wrong with it. Guaranteed. I hate you, FedEx. I hate you.
I'm going to actually skip one question from Slides. I'm going to leave that to the end because I know you'll talk a little bit longer on that one. The other ones are a little bit shorter. Debbie asks, you won a prize, but you have to choose between $20,000 for a computer or $100,000, but you don't get to use your computer for a full year. What will you choose?
I would choose $100,000 and not be able to use my computer for a full year, because unlike some people, yes, I'm very attached to the internet, but I could just as easily remove myself from the internet if money is involved. If money is involved, you bet your ass I'm going to do it, and I'm going to dedicate myself to it. So $100,000, hell yeah, I'll go a year without using my computer. I'll definitely do that.
Slice asks, when are you playing Animal Crossings again?
Man, I am so bored of Animal Crossing. Like, I like Animal Crossing. It is a super fun game, super chill game, but I'm just not down for how long it takes. And I'm also the type of person that doesn't like to time cheat. So I don't like jumping time, and I don't like I like to earn things the hard way, I guess. The original way. I love Animal Crossing. I just don't have the time to play it all the time. That's why I like fast-paced shooting action games, is because I can come home from work, vent if I need to on playing Left 4 Dead or Halo or whatever, or Call of Duty, and then I can just be done within 2 hours and then move on. Animal Crossing definitely does take a lot more time, especially because I don't cheat, and I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad game because it absolutely isn't. It's a wonderful game. Yeah, I think there should be more games like it. Um, but it's definitely a pacing thing, and I think that's the only reason why I don't play it. I probably will eventually, but not anytime soon. My Nintendo Switch Lite has kind of just been collecting dust, and I feel sad because it's sitting there all sad and dusty. But that's why. So maybe not. We'll see what happens.
All right. I'm gonna skip one from Jax too. I'll leave that towards the end. Hoon Balloon asks, ever read World War Z or listen to the audiobook? Not the movie, but the books.
Yeah. So, World War Z, the movie, I didn't like it. I actually think that's one of the worst zombie movies around. I just absolutely hate Brad Pitt in it. I don't think he does that great of a job. I think the storyline's kind of whack. The idea of these running zombies that pile on each other to jump over a wall was kind of ridiculous. And I don't think it's really all that realistic as people claim it to be. The audiobooks and things like that, though, no, I haven't. I'm not really into audiobooks. Like, I like podcasts, but I don't like having people read to me. I would much rather just read it myself. So if you think that World War Z is a good book to read, or even audiobook, maybe that'll be my first book that I read this year. I'll definitely give that book a shot. I love really good stories, and I do love books. Even though I don't read too much, I think books are awesome.
All right. Bushwick asks, monster horror or supernatural horror?
I love supernatural horror. I love ghosts, and I think that just kind of stems from like the need to know of the afterlife, and I think that goes for everybody in the entire world. Is that everybody wants to know what happens in the afterlife, and that's why I love paranormal style movies involving like ghosts, poltergeists, demons. There's like horror movies involving angels for some reason. Like, there's all kinds of different things out there involving the paranormal. I guess UFOs are also considered paranormal too. I'm not really too into the whole alien thing. I do like the 1979 Alien movie with Sigourney Weaver, but I think that's about the reach it goes for me as far as aliens go. I'm not really too into the whole alien conspiracy thing. I'm really not into conspiracies in general. I just don't. I feel like every time I like get into a conspiracy, I feel like I'm wasting my time most of the time with no real outcome of it all. But at least with paranormal stuff, it's somewhat, I guess, believable for the most part. I mean, I always feel like that human beings in general have like this energy to them that will remain residual after you've died, but I don't really know for sure. So I just like what directors and writers come up with involving like paranormal movies and shows. I think it's really interesting, and it also gives like different perspectives of what everybody else believes. I think it brings a little bit more conversation to life in general.
All right. Jax asks, and I'm a request, keep it short for reasons because of DMCA.
Yes,
Will
gotcha.
you sing us a Disney tune?
Let's get down to business to defeat the Hun. You're the saddest bunch I've ever met. And I forgot the rest, it's true. But Mr. I'll make a man out of you. Yeah. There you go. How's that?
Yeah.
Jack says he loves it. He loves it.
I love to sing.
Last but not least, we got some clapping going on. and I know you could go on with this one, so I know
Sure. I'll keep it short. Don't worry. I'll
time
be
wise.
good.
Are you asleep?
Tell
I guess
us
there may be.
about your podcast.
Okay, yeah. So I do have a podcast, and it is called the Never Seen It Podcast. Not to be confused with Never Seen It by Kyle Eichers. Don't listen to that podcast. But the Never Seen It Podcast is a podcast about people who've never seen certain movies in life. Like a lot of people grew up watching like Back to the Future or Terminator 2, Judgment Day. And then there's a lot of people that didn't have the privilege to like watch those movies. So what we do is me and my friends, we gather together and we discuss the movie that either one of us hasn't seen, or two of us, or maybe none of us have seen it, but it's been on our list. Or we'll have a guest that comes on, and usually we cater it to movies that the guest has never seen. But we talk about it and we kind of get a modern perspective on like pop culture icons for movies like, Back to the Future, Terminator 2, Indiana Jones. We've covered a lot of movies, and we're actually finishing up season 2 right now. The next episode isn't coming out this Tuesday, but it's coming out next Tuesday, which is on March 30th is when our final episode of season 2, and I believe that'll be episode 12, if I'm reading this correctly. But yeah, it'll be episode 12, and unfortunately I'm not on the season finale. I missed that episode. Unfortunately, I had some things going on, but we are watching True Romance for that episode. So if you've never seen True Romance, I suggest you wait until the podcast comes around and then watch the movie, or watch the movie and then listen to the podcast. But that's what we talk about. We talk about movies. It's a pretty interesting perspective to see what everybody else thinks. We do rate movies on that podcast, and it's mostly a comedy podcast, so we do riff off of each other a lot. We do talk shit, and it's just an all-around good, enjoyable time. So if you want to check it out, it's the Never Seen It Podcast. It's on Spotify. It's on iTunes. We have a website at www.neverseenitpodcast.com. There is like I think that would be the best place to like check out our show, just for the fact that you can see a list of all of our episodes and where to listen to our episodes, just in case, because I think we have like one other site that we're hosting on our podcast, but I forget what it is. I think it's like Stitcher. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But go to the website, check it out. It'll take you to the Spotify or iTunes link. And yeah, also follow Never Seen It Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We got it all. We have social medias everywhere. And all that good stuff. It's a good podcast. It's a movie podcast. If you love movies and you love pop culture, that's definitely a podcast that's up your alley. I will speak highly of it, not because I'm biased, but because I really do enjoy what we do. So I hope that reflects in the episodes when you do listen to them. And we're also going to be starting our season 3 on 4/20. We'll be watching Dazed and Confused. So tune in, check it out.
Well, all right. Well, that's was all the questions from our viewers. Hash, do you have any questions for Mr. Shibby here?
Oh man, I'm good.
All right, Shibs.
A few words, I love it.
We appreciate
right.
you having. We're looking forward to having you back to streaming once you get more settled down. But you've been awesome. Even you're not streaming everything, but still supporting the Discord as well. As much as you can. So we appreciate you being here and being on our podcast. If you want to stick around, you can. If you need to do stuff, I understand. We are talking about it before the podcast. So yeah, let's give it up to Shibbs.The.Zombie.
Oh, you want me to plug my socials? Anyway, for those of you that don't know, was it on Twitch? Follow me, Shibbs.The.Zombie, obviously. Instagram, Shibby the Zombie with a Y instead of an S, SHIBBY the Zombie. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter as well, Shibbs the Zombie, same as my Twitch. Yeah, and all that good stuff. So hey, feel free, say hi. You know, I don't bite. I don't mind. To be honest, I like the attention. But anyway,
He may bite a little.
I may bite a little.
All right. Well, moving on to our next portions of the podcast. I don't know where Biscuits went. I know she's not on the voice chat. So remember, guys, every Sunday tonight is family and friends night. So if you have somebody that you want to invite to the Discord, whether they are a streamer, family member, or just want to be a supporter, as you know, a lot of people are in our channels, you could message, you could whisper Italian Slice or Southern Biscuits. They'll give you a 24-hour only invite code. If they do not accept that code within that 24 hours, it expires, and then we'll have to wait till next week on the next podcast to be able to get another code. And I see Biscuits is back.
Yeah.
Yay! I'm here.
Welcome back.
Here.
I've been here. I've just not been in the voice chat.
Well, welcome back to voice chat.
Thank you. Thank you. So, did Hash do his segment?
No, I was gonna get to that. I was just mentioning a couple things. So we could do Hash. I was gonna do the charity event, just announcement again. Unless you want to do that, then we'll pass it on to Hash.
Okay. Yeah, so we did the charity event today, and I made it halfway through, and then my disappearance is still unknown. But we raised, the last total I saw was 580.
583 is our current.
Oh,
Okay,
bad.
so 583. So that's still really good for our little community. I'm super excited about that. We had 6 streamers show up and show out. And yeah, I needed sleepy time. And we're still going. And I think, if I'm correct, Slice, the link ends tonight. But we still have the link active. So if anybody would like to donate to Gamers Outreach, you could do that. If not, that's okay too. Any support, like being here or, supporting our streamers earlier, we thank all of you for that. So a little bit about, huh?
I think Slice did mention that the link was going to still be good for at least a few days.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew the big event that Gamers Outreach do. I think it's was yesterday and today, so not sure how long they'll do it. Okay, so it'll be available all week. Okay, so that's good. So what Gamers Outreach does is once a year they host a marathon, and usually it's in like a big place, big coliseum, big whatever. I'm losing my words here.
Amphitheater.
Yeah, amphitheater. But due to COVID restrictions, they're not able to do that this year. So they've asked everybody to just do it at home. And it was awesome to see them getting in our streams earlier today. I thought that was fantastic. They showed up in our stream, SSG. They showed up in our streamer streams, and just thanking everybody for their help. And so what they do is they give money to hospitals to use it for children that are hospitalized, so they can have gaming gear to play video games. So yeah, it's really exciting. We appreciate everybody that has given to the cause and helped Gamers Outreach reach their goal and then some. I think this is going to be the most money they've raised so far since they've been doing this. So we're really excited about that and appreciate everybody that has contributed to it and supported during this charity event.
Did we lose her?
I don't think so.
No, I'm here. That's all from me. My bad.
Okay.
The end.
Man,
The end.
All right, we'll pass it on to Hash with gamer news.
Okay, here we go. I know we got a bunch of Apex heads in the chat. Let's go ahead and hit you with that free Octane skin for the Amazon Prime. I know we've seen it. You got to link your Amazon Prime and your Origin account to get it, okay? I know some people that I played with have had problems linking accounts and getting the skin. I actually got it on the first go, so, you know, maybe I can help you out. If you got a problem, give me a message. Maybe we can get it worked out where you can get that free skin. It's only going to last for a month, so... And I think it's already been up a couple of weeks. So if you really do want it, you know, or skin collector, whatever, you know, just feel free to hit me up if you got problems. All right. We got a free game for you coming from Epic. The Fall. It is a acclaimed story with engaging titles and tense actions. You are Arid, an AI onboard Mark 7 combat suit. The human pilot encased within the suit is unconscious. You must find a way to follow protocol and save his life. It was 2014's Game of the Year for Best Story. All right. It's a free game in Epic. You go download it. You can just add it to your library, download it whenever. It's a free game. Get it. Another indie game that caught my eye while I was researching this wasn't a free game. It's called The Forager. It's a 2D open world sort of platformer-esque Zelda game inspired by exploration, farming, crafting games such as Stardew Valley, Terraria, and Zelda. Start small and improve your base, skills, equipment, and network of friends and enemies, and build your future as you see fit. It's $20 in the Steam store right now. And one last thing. I know all of us are here. Some of us, there's a couple people here that don't stream, but most of us do. And we're always looking for new equipment to get that edge and stuff like that. Here you go with the loop deck. All right. Now this thing is sort of, if you've ever heard of a Go XLR / Stream Deck, but it's not as expensive as a Go XLR. Okay. So whether you're producing a photo, video content, controlling your live streams, playing games, browsing the web, the Loop Deck Live is a powerful and customizable console that puts tools and functions you need right at your fingertips. Loop Deck Live is designed to deliver a powerful experience for live streaming with deep integration to Twitch, Streamlabs, and OBS Studio. Arrange and customize all your actions using the console's neat organization and go live in seconds. Effortlessly switch scenes and sources, record gameplay, save replays, whatever you want it to do. The thing is literally limitless. Okay, it's $269. Now I know that's a little high even for Elgato's top of the line, but when I saw that you could control the volumes of each, like Spotify, your game, your mic, that's what I was wanting out of the Go XLR.
Your alerts.
Whoa.
Your alerts. I mean, this thing, it keeps popping up on my Facebook feed. I have not bought it. I have not tested it. I've watched 2 or 3 YouTube videos on it, but I just wanted to show y'all this. Like, this is a tool that we can use at our discretion, whether, you know, if you're wanting to drop that kind of money, but just wanted to let you know about it. That's all we got.
That seems pretty useful, actually. Won't blast your ears with all the notification sounds from like the music and stuff.
Right. They even make a bigger one that's more for like creators, like drawing artists and stuff like that to put palettes and stuff. It's got a dial and all kind of other stuff on it, but this one would be more suited for us.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. And were you going to talk about the trophies?
Yes. All right. So we're making the trophies now. We just got the 3D printer back going. We got it actually going during the charity event. So it's printing the first trophy now. Once we get done with that, we're going to print the second trophy for the Rocket League. What? You know what it is, Debbie. Don't give me that crap. You know what it is. Yeah, it'll be all spruced up. You'll see. I'm not going to send you a picture of it before I send it either. All right. Got another thing to talk about. Warzone. We got a tournament coming up next week. We got 11 people.
Ooh.
All right. We got 11 people signed up. If we're wanting to battle each other, we need at least 25 or more to do a private Warzone server against each other. If not, we're going to have to do like we did in Apex, where we randomize the group and then just do it. Okay? So, with that being said, we're going to extend the sign up to Wednesday of this week. Wednesday. Supremacy is going to do the randomize Thursday morning, Thursday-ish. We will know the results Thursday night. We will post them Thursday night. We don't have a lot of people signing up for it. So if y'all are really wanting this to happen, get the word out. Get your link for your SSG people. Get it in here. So they have a free pass to get in here tonight. Get that link, use it. And that's about it.
All
I
right.
might join if my schedule allows me.
Well, check it out.
Saturday at 5 p.m. Central.
Okay. Nice.
There
We'll
you
see what
go.
happens.
Yep.
Biscuits, you got anything else for SSG?
Just some reminders. Like today is Friends and Family Day. And I always try to promote the website. So if you guys haven't checked out the website, do that. And I'm going to get on his ass because he's in here. But Destroyer is our streamer of the week, and he refuses to send me stuff that I need. So tomorrow, it's going to change to our new streamer of the week, and our last one got promoted for 2 weeks. Thank you, Devi. All right, so, what? Who me? Yes. The next event, you guys have already talked about it, and that is the tournament. We also have our art exhibit that we're gonna do on the 31st. And then you guys don't forget that the very last stream podcast that we do from SSG, we're going to do a giveaway. And I think that's it from me. The worst streamer of the week ever. Devi, I was gone Thursday through yesterday. So you had from Sunday till Thursday. So I don't want to hear it.
Yes, and we'll find out who the next week's streamer of the week will be tomorrow in the announcement celebration sections. So March is almost ending, guys. Right before we get to our episode, I believe 18 of the compilation, because I know we missed one last week due to not enough clips. Remember, at the end of the month, once March is done, if you guys have not filled out this document yet, this is our content agreement. If you guys have not filled this out, that enables us as the SSG Discord, to promote your channel, to promote your clips on our videos and social media and everything. The perks, the level perks, tournaments, podcasts, or whatever. You don't have to, agree. If you don't agree, you're just opted out of, all the bonuses you get from this Discord. And the reason why we explained before that we were doing this because we had problems with other people beforehand. So we would just want to put the scale straight and make sure if you do not fill this out by the end of the month, I will send a message to every member on Discord by the end of the month. After a couple days, if nobody responds or fills out this document, you're automatically opting out, and you will not be getting the promotions or getting any more perks or anything. And we'll make the channels for the videos back into one. So make sure, if you guys haven't done it, do it. If you guys done it, you're good already, because you do get a separate role badge, so we know if you're opted in or opted out. So make sure you guys fill that out. So without further ado, let's get into episode 18, which is a really good one. And I know you guys are always looking forward to this, so let's get into it.
I bet I know who the streamer of the week is.
We shall see.
I'm kidding.
It's my dad.
Hi, Dad.
He's in a box on my shelf right now.
Oh.
Well, that's fun. This has been fun. Well, I actually gotta
Yo.
go. I'm hungry.
Yo, y'all some fools.
So, it's been a joy being on here with you guys. I appreciate it. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side, I guess. I'll see y'all on the next
Oh,
stream.
bro, I am caught all up in this.
Good
Good
stuff.
ships.
All right, later.
What the fuck are you guys doing? Stop being a bunch of... Yeah, do it again! I had tacos tonight. Tacos. Oh god. Oh. No?
Let's get it. All we've got to do is survive. Take it out, Will. You're the father. You're the captain. You're the god. That's it. That's all he had for us. Right, Southern Biscuits? Right, Biscuits? Get that blog out of here. Ow, oh, fuck, my toe. Oh, no. I just wheeled over it. I just wheeled over the old big toe. These things happen. It's a sacrifice for greatness. Okay. Choose an action.
Where's the up? There's the up. I don't like clingy people. She has a thing behind her back. Oh, nothing's behind her. Where's my axe? How do I take this out? Take it out! Where's your axe? Why? What is that? No! What's going on? My hand!
Fuck yeah, baby! Woo!
Try to take a shield. Oh, we have to go. Knocked one. Try to... Yes!
Oh!
Nice man.
I was just about to pop her with the shotgun too.
Nice.
Good shit.
GG.
Good game.
I'm trying to get... And the chicken dance takes another.
That's copyrighted. You can't do that.
And 2 more signal players.
Are you like? Oh, you're up the mountain.
No dead body?
No dead body yet.
I'm like at the
So
bottom.
that is just right here. Take the batteries.
I'm about to go around. Ah, shit! Fuck you! Oh, fuck your mother! Fuck, shit! Hey guys, I found Bigfoot. I found Bigfoot. I tagged his ass. Oh, fuck, run!
Oh no, jump! Oh, fuck.
Someone just doesn't believe.
Thanks for being Grandpa. Santa Claus.
Hey. Oh, here we go.
Everybody. No, not me. Come on. Everyone that came tonight. You suck.
Wait, what the hell happened?
What? You lost. Wait, what happened? 0.
What the hell happened?
You died at the same time.
What?
You died at the same time. Your bullshit cost us another game.
What the hell happened? What the hell just happened?
You died at the same time. Flip it. Yeah, you got a good bet. That's not even possible.
Don't worry.
Oh!
2 for 1. 2 for 1. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, you missed!
Say my name. Say it.
I have no fucking grenades. I have no nades. I gotta punch people. God damn it.
We'll go hashy down as normal.
Boom, bitch! You didn't see that coming, motherfucker!
Kraber to the face!
It's a bodiless vengeful.
Whoa!
What the fuck is that? Oh, what are you? Get off! Get the fuck off, please!
We're just supposed to be friends.
What the fuck? Excuse me. Did that thing just eat my fucking... It took everything off of me. Haha!
Here we go. Let's see who it is.
I got that nice meeting. Yeah.
That was good. Ooh, yeah. You got the better one.
That damn Mucho Man taking over the shit again.
Yeah, Mucho Man.
Hash, get your brother in control.
Yeah, Mucho Man. Yeah. Morning.
I'm jealous. He has better hair than me.
The hair.
That was good.
Well, alright guys, that was our episode 18. We appreciate everybody being here. We're gonna raid a random. We got Mr. Nick's Gaming Island, who's actually playing Animals Crossing. So show him some love, show him that SSG hype like you guys always do. And make sure you come back next week. I believe we have our Member of the Month, Metal Mermaid, next week.
Yes, we do.
Alright guys, we'll see you later. Have fun. Let's get that hype going.
Yep. See you guys.
Coming in with the fire hot raid of motherfucking 7.
Ow! Woo!